If you're new here, welcome to Your Somatic Life, Love, Leadership and Legacy. I'm Sam Ricks and I help high-achieving women like you break free from self-sabotage by bridging the self-healing mindset and business success, because your mind and body are your strategy. Let's get into it. Hi everyone. Okay, so today I am really excited to come on and talk to you about procrastination and the 4 personality types you may feel you are. So I recently shared some content and did some polls, and it was really interesting to get the results from you. And some of you really resonated with some of the things that you may be telling yourself. So if you often hear yourself say, I work really well under pressure, I can definitely resonate with that one. I work really well under pressure. This is known as the performer personality type of procrastination. And essentially what is happening is you are shrinking time in order to force yourself to focus on a task that you want to complete. By shrinking that time and telling yourself that you believe that you perform well under pressure, underneath that, you're unable to perhaps complete a task to your very high expectations. Often, we may have very high expectations of ourselves. We may feel that we want to perfect things before we put them out there. But if we only give ourselves like 1 or 2 days to do it when we've had months, we couldn't have possibly have achieved it to our own high standards because we only had 2 days, right? So therefore, we're able to offset that feeling of needing to be perfect. So that's usually what's going on underneath the surface level of hearing yourself say that I work well under pressure. So what is our biggest challenge if we are this type of person? Getting started is really, really hard. Okay, we're focusing on the end point. So the solution is to flip it upside down. And instead of focusing on the end date of when a task needs to be completed, try focusing on the start time, when you are going to start it. Work towards your start date instead. Okay. Then, not just working on the mindset, as always, somatically, you do want to address those feelings that are coming up within you that are perhaps sitting around the feeling of needing to get things done perfectly. Where is that coming from? Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What habits have you developed? Where does it feel in your body to feel like something may not be done perfectly? What gut-wrenching feeling does it give you? Is it in your gut? Is it somewhere else? Hold that, feel it, release it, meditate, visualize, stretch, do your massage techniques. Allow yourself to release that feeling in your body. Tap the fact that it is okay to not have to be perfect, that just doing it is amazing. Doing the action and taking the step forward is absolutely good enough. So that's the first one. The second one is known as the self-deprecator. Okay, so this is somebody who often says to themselves, I'm so lazy right now. If you believe that you are really, really lazy, you're actually in life, in reality, probably the complete opposite. Keeping yourself always really, really busy with other little tasks. So the reason for this is that when you don't do something, you don't have to be hard on yourself. Otherwise, you are extremely hard on yourself for not doing that one thing. The missing piece here is always self-compassion. When we're not often able to find a lot of compassion for ourselves, when we are really, really hard on ourselves for not doing something. And for this type of personality, it's your challenge is feeling unable to take a break, not putting yourself first, not stopping and not resting, because you can't justify it in your head, because you've perhaps learned throughout your lifetime that not doing something is lazy. That message you may have grown up with that message through external sources around you in your environment. But if you understand that underneath that, the reality is you're actually very busy. What are you actually doing? The tasks that you're doing on a day-to-day basis to prove the fact that you are not lazy will help combat the fact that you are telling yourself that you're a lazy person. So yeah, the solution to this one is to give yourself time to break, to stop, to recharge, go outdoors, get outdoor life, natural senses around you, fresh air, and make it a daily priority. If it sounds too hard to do that, make the time really short, 10 minutes. Okay, there is no reason why we can't do 10 minutes break and get some fresh air for 10 minutes. Make the time shorter so that you know you can achieve that into your daily routine. So then we have number 3, which is the overbooker. I definitely hands up to this one, being the overbooker. I'm so busy. Do you hear yourself say, I'm so busy right now? And that's why I'm procrastinating on this one thing that I really want to do. I just haven't got time. I'm just so busy. I hear you. I feel like I'm almost a professional at being the overbooker. So you are a pro at filling your calendar with engagements. Okay. You are very good at overwhelming yourself. You end up feeling burnt out and overwhelmed because you have booked in so much. In reality, what's lying underneath this one is our busyness is often an excuse to avoid the one thing that we don't want to do. Okay. You create chaos to avoid something. So the solution here is to get really real with yourself, hand on heart, and ask, what am I really avoiding? And again, this is a really good one for going into your body. Deep breathing routines. Do your body check during a meditation. If you like music, you can use music as well. Ask yourself, what am I really avoiding? And pick up on where you are feeling this in your body. What is the fear? Okay. Many of you know that my past fear was coming on camera doing videos, and I was putting it off for years. We all have something that we're avoiding doing. Okay. So that's going to help you. And then once you overcome that fear because you've addressed it and you've worked on it and you've given it the love and support and compassion that that fear needs to be heard, all of a sudden your calendar is emptier. There is more room for you to just sit and breathe with yourself. You don't have to keep booking in those things. Okay. And then the fourth one was if you heard yourself very often say, I've just had the best idea. And again, I actually see myself in all 4. I don't like to pigeonhole people. I don't like that for myself, and I don't like that in how I share content and support and resources for you to help you with this, because you can find elements of yourself in all personality types. But this one, again, for me, resonates well. I just had the best idea. Oh, I'm just getting distracted by this new shiny thing over here. And I love calling this one the shiny object syndrome, because that's exactly what it is. This one is called the Novelty Seeker. So is this you? You take on loads of projects. You may start something, you may find yourself bored a week later. I often find myself starting things and not finishing them. Is this you? I tend to say to myself, well, I'm experimenting. It's all an experiment. It is, to find your way, to find your passion, to find your motivation, to find your purpose and what really lights you up. It is an experiment. You do have to experiment with lots of different things. However, there's experimentation and then there's total distraction away from the one thing that you really want to do, and therefore you find yourself unable to complete it. Okay, so your biggest challenge here, if this is you, is completion. And one of the biggest issues with this one is loss of time and burnout, because all of a sudden you've become so distracted, a year has gone past. Okay, you've also perhaps started so many different things, you've spread yourself too thin, and you feel yourself physically burning out. So, a solution for this one. This is more of a management solution, which is really handy. Stick your idea onto a post-it note because it's yay big. Okay, I love post-it notes because you can't put too much on it. One idea, stick it. Stick the idea and create a new rule for yourself. You don't start the next idea until you have finished, or at least decided you've binned it and you're not going to do it anymore. Okay, so whilst that might sound like a contradiction, especially if you're a woman in business, you may have come up with an idea, you may have started a task that you may have decided halfway through that actually this is the wrong route for you, and that's fine. Bin it so that you can allow more space in your mind, so that you don't feel guilty for having not done that thing. You just realize that thing is no longer good for you in your business or your life. But the idea here is that you don't move on to the next post-it note until you've completed the previous one. Okay, so you're after completion. And every time you complete a small task, you increase your confidence, your self-esteem, and your feelings of worth, that you can trust yourself to complete the process. Okay, so I hope that was really helpful today. For absolutely amazing things that a lot of us hear ourselves saying to ourselves all the time. And those are just some tips to help you manage those things. So take care, have a great weekend, see you again soon. If today's episode resonated with you, don't let that insight stop here. Transformation happens when we take action. I've put together some of my best tools and resources to help you break free from self-sabotage and step into aligned success. You can get instant access just by subscribing at samanthajricks.com/subscribe. And if you loved this episode, make sure to hit follow so you don't miss what's coming next. And I'll see you soon. Take care.